This podcast is produced by the Harwood Productions Podcast Network. To learn more about the network and to find more of our shows, visit us online at www.harwoodpodcast.com.
Hi, I'm Cindy Harris. Welcome to Easy Entertaining.
Well, with the holidays comes special family breakfasts, and here is a fabulous holiday French toast. Now, you can use regular bread, but I like to use the Italian Panettone bread. Now, Panettone is an Italian sweet bread that you find a lot during the holidays, and I don't think a lot of people know exactly what to do with it, but turning it into French toast is fantastic, and if you're having a get-together, you can see you have a large amount of bread to work with, so it's just great. So once you unwrap it, you're going to want to cut it into some fairly thick slices like this. And then what I do is I just gather them together and cut them in half. And then we're going to make a nice rich custard to soak the bread in. So we're going to need 4 eggs, a half a cup of milk, and you can use whatever kind you like. I'm using a 1%. Then we're going to put in 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon. And then we're going to add a little bit of vanilla. We're going to add 1/2 teaspoon of that. Then I'm going to use my microplaner and I'm going to take the zest off of 1 orange. I'm going to add that into the custard base, and then I'm going to cut the orange in half, and I'm just going to use a reamer, and I'm going to take all of that juice out of the orange and put it into the custard base as well. Then I'm going to take a tablespoon of sugar, and then it's time to mix all these ingredients together. Now, I'm just using a fork, but you could use a whisk, but we want to get all those eggs nicely broken up. And then I just use a large 13x9 pan, and I'm going to go ahead and pour that custard right inside of it. Then I'm going to take the bread, and I'm going to take each piece and I'm going to put it in the bread with one side and then flip it over and put it on the other side. And basically what we do is we want to let this bread sort of soak in this custard for about 5 minutes. Now, while this is soaking, I love to put some bacon in the oven because I think bacon works great alongside this French toast. So let me show you how I do that. What I like to do is I like to get a rimmed baking sheet, and then I get some of the thick sliced bacon. And this is about 1 pound, but you could put as many slices as you like. And what I do is I just go through and I lay them out side by side in the pan. Now, I've not put anything in the pan, no foil, no spray, no oil, nothing, just the bacon. Now, one of the reasons I like to cook bacon like this when I'm doing it for a crowd is because I can just put it in the oven and leave it. I just need to flip it every 5 or 6 minutes or so until it's cooked just the way I like it. So after you get the bacon in the pan, make sure you've preheated your oven to 400 degrees and go ahead and put that in. Now, it's going to take about 10 to 15 minutes to cook all the way through. So now that the bacon is in the oven, we can start cooking our French toast. Now, I'm using a large electric griddle, but you could certainly use a pan on the stove if you'd like. And you'll see I'm going through and just flipping the bread one more time. I want it to absorb as much of that custard as possible. So I'm going to take my griddle, I'm going to put it on a medium heat, about 325, 350. And then I'm going to take some butter that I have in the refrigerator, and I'm going to peel back some of the paper because you want to cook these pieces of French toast in a little bit of butter, but I only like to put as much butter as I need because the butter browns so quickly. So what I do is just kind of draw it on the shape of the toast, and then I lay the toast on top of it. And I find this is a really easy and controlled way to put just as much butter as I need. And I'm going to go ahead and do that with all of the slices that I can possibly fit on this griddle. Now, it's going to take a few minutes for that toast to start browning, so this is about the 5-minute mark. I'm going to go ahead and take my tongs and I'm going to flip the bacon over that way that it cooks nice and evenly on both sides. And once I flip it, I'm going to go ahead and put it back in for another 5 minutes. So now it's time to have a look at the French toast, and you can see it's bubbling nicely. The bottom part of the egg is starting to set up, and so it's time to turn. Now what you want to do is when you turn it, you want to get your little butter again and draw another circle of butter and then just flip that over, and look at how beautifully browned that French toast is. That's what we're going for. And you'll see that because we're drawing the butter on, each side is cooking in just enough butter to help it brown nicely like that. And so again, you're just going to want to, after a few minutes, have a peek. Make sure that the underside is as brown as you'd like it. That's looking about as brown as I want it to go. And then I'm going to go ahead and take the French toast off and put it on a plate because I'm going to want to keep this warm. Now, if I didn't have the bacon in the oven, I would go ahead and just put it in the oven on warm until I was ready to serve. But in this case, the bacon is going to be done just about the same time. So this should work out fine, me leaving that plate right on the stove. And as you can see, the bacon is browning up just perfectly. This is going to need just about 2 more minutes. Now, while the bacon is finishing up, let me show you how I go about draining it. I take a piece of foil and I take some paper towels and I kind of double up the paper towels. Then what I do is, as I bring the bacon out of the oven, I go ahead and I put about 3 or 4 slices onto the paper towel. Then I flip over a couple of more sheets of the paper towel and put some more bacon on. And what I'm basically doing is creating almost a blotter in between the bacon. This way the paper towel absorbs any excess grease that is still on the bacon. And because it's wrapped up in foil, what I can do is once I've got all the bacon sandwiched in between the paper towels, I can just roll it up, and I could also pop that in the oven until I was ready to serve. So the French toast is ready. So all I'm going to do is take a piece, put it on the plate. I like to put a nice sprinkling of powdered sugar on top, and then a nice big drizzle of warm maple syrup. The combination of the orange and all the fruits that are inside the panettone bread work perfectly with the maple syrup. And then I can just take my little foil wrapped bundle of bacon out of the oven and where it's been staying warm, and then I can just put a couple of pieces right on the plate. And this makes a scrumptious holiday breakfast. Well, my family can't wait for me to make this for them during the holidays. You know, during the rest of the year, it's grab a piece of toast or a granola bar. But on the holidays, you want something special, and this holiday French toast is it. Now, if you can't get your hands on panettone bread, you can also use a thick sliced sourdough, and it is also delicious. Also, don't forget, I've been nominated for a Tasty Award honoring the best in food and fashion programming, and I've been nominated for Best Home Chef in a series for my Farmers Market Gourmet show. Now, it is a Viewer's Choice Award, so if you'd like to vote, just go to our website and click on the Tasty Awards icon. It'll take you right to the voting page, and voting does end January 5th.
For more information on this episode, go to our website and visit the Easy Entertaining show notes. Also, if you have any questions or ideas for us, send us an email. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.